Folks, over the weekend, the CBCF, of course, they had their AOC, the annual conference that takes place where various policy summits, various think tanks take place. Of course, we were broadcasting live from there on Wednesday and Thursday as well. Saturday night was the Phoenix Awards, where they honored a number of people, including Tommie Smith. This is the 50th anniversary of the protest at the Mexico City Olympics. Also, Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. and his wife Jacqueline Jackson were also one of the honorees, as well as, of course, Brian Stevenson. So there were a number of people who were honored. But the keynote speaker that night was, of course, Reverend Dr. William J. Barber, who's leading the Poor People's Campaign. And so here's some of his particular speech. We've been live streaming it all weekend. I want to be able to show you some of what he had to say, where he challenged the folks in their tuxedos to stand up and fight against the evil in the Oval Office.
I want to talk for a moment about knowing who we are in times like these. And there is a text, since I'm a preacher, and I hope you don't mind if I lift one verse. It's in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 39. It says, "We do not belong to those who shrink back unto destruction, but we are among those who have faith and who work for the perseverance of the soul." We do not belong to those who shrink back. I come tonight to this Congressional Black Caucus because I know a little something, Brother Roland, about this caucus and the strivings. I know about Hiram rebels before there ever was a caucus out of Mississippi who replaced that terrorist, treasonous terrorist, Jefferson Davis, the former president of the Confederacy. I know about George White from North Carolina, who gave the last speech of the last congressperson elected during Reconstruction in 1902, and he gave that Phoenix speech and said, like the Phoenix, we will rise from the ashes again. But I also know that the founders of the Congressional Caucus, they said in 71, it started out as a Democratic Select Committee. But in 71, they said that the caucus was not born to promote a party, but to be the conscience of the Congress, and to ever remind Republicans and Democrats of the need to strive for a more perfect union. You know who they were, don't you? Shirley Chisholm was the single woman in that midst, but oh, she was powerful. And Clay and Collins and Diggs and Hawkins and Metcalf and Conyers and Mitchell and Nix and Stokes and Rangel and Dellums and Fontroy. They were the founders. And upon forming, they said this: the purpose of this Congressional Black Caucus is to seize the moment, to fight for justice, and to raise the issues that are barely debated. Because they knew in order to deal with America, they had to know who they were. They also knew that they sat in those seats because those seats had been baptized in blood. Today, as we are here, this is the 55th anniversary of the killing, the murder, the domestic terrorism of those 4 little girls in a Birmingham church. But I want to remind every political elected official and everybody that holds an office, what we do has been baptized in blood. So we are here, my sisters and brothers, to cry out on behalf of those who've not yet been heard. We are here not to shrink back, but to hold on to the hope that America yet may become what she has long promised to be: one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And that's why I raised this text today. That's why I want to talk about we are not of those who shrink back unto destruction. You know, Paul was a black brother. I hope y'all know that. And he wrote this. He was a brother. He was a brother. And Paul, when he wrote these words, the Jesus movement was under assault by a malignant narcissist, political leader in Rome. And that malignant leader, narcissist leader, had a bunch of enablers. And they were trying to turn everything back in America, in Rome. And Paul said to the movement, because there were people in the movement who were thinking about going along to get along. And Paul said, we are not of those who shrink back unto destruction, but we are those who persevere unto the salvation of the soul. In other words, you better know who you are, when somebody is assaulting everything you believe in. The truth of the matter is, properly defining yourself and who you are is a critical philosophical, theological discipline that has penetrating and practical implication, particularly when one is under crisis. When you're under threat, the most important thing is not what your enemy does, but do you know who you are and whose you are and why you're really being threatened. Knowing who you are is critical to your sanity and your ability to sustain a fight back when you are facing what Paul Tillich called the very threat of non-being and non-existence. Now, to be sure, my brothers and sisters, we've always had to fight to maintain a proper sense of self because America has always struggled with who she is. America, this American project, has always had a kind of split personality, at times political and social schizophrenia, a great gulf between what America says she dreams to be and what she is in reality. That's why even in her great hymns, one of them says, America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Even the hymn writer knew that America can be schizophrenic at times. Dr. King once critiqued this nation and said, let us be dissatisfied until America will no longer have a high blood pressure of creeds and an anemia of deeds. And then it wasn't it Langston Hughes that said, America, America has never been America to me, but I swear this oath that America will be. In America, there has been progress, but this has only come when those who knew who they were and who America should be dared to challenge this country and not to give up on her possibility.
All right, folks, be sure to go to our YouTube channel, of course, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. You can actually see the full speech of Reverend Barber. We also have it on our Facebook and Periscope pages as well.